What is going on, guys? JT43 here, and in this video I'm going to be kind of fully disassembling a LS400 brake caliper. Now, this brake caliper came on these certain years of cars. I have to research it because I don't know the exact years that this caliper came on. But before I jump into anything, I'm kind of just going to explain what I'm doing here to see if it's going to help you out, because I don't want you watching this whole video and then finding out that it's not going to help you in any way. So pretty much I have to get these powder coated, and to save a little bit of money, I can disassemble the caliper myself so that they don't have to at the powder coating shop. So the only thing that I'm not going to be taking out is these two threads right here. Now, I hammered the absolute shit out of these two guys for a long time, and like I couldn't get them out. They're just kind of pressed in. You lift these guys up. I tried it on the other one there. You lift these guys up, you hammer it out, but I had no luck with it, so I'm gonna be leaving those in. But everything else on the caliper is coming off. I'm gonna jump right into it. So we're gonna flip the caliper around. If you're gonna be doing this on the car, I recommend you take it off the car, but I'm gonna explain why. So when you try to basically take the cylinders off when it's on the car, you're gonna get a bunch of brake fluid everywhere. What will happen is you're gonna try and pop these cylinders out, and brake fluid is just gonna come gushing out, and you're gonna run your system dry. And unless you have other brake fluid to keep filling on top, and you have something to catch all the brake fluid, I recommend taking the caliper off. If you don't know how to do that, there's a bolt on the back here. It's called a banjo bolt. I think it's like a 14 millimeter. You take this off, and then you're gonna have brake fluid leaking everywhere, but at least it's in a stream where you can get a bottle or a pan to catch it, rather than your cylinders popping out and brake fluid just squirts everywhere. It's a big mess. But without further ado, let's get into it. So we're gonna have to take this pin off right here, which is pretty simple. You're going to lift up here, pop this guy out, which my pin is very loose. It's not on there at all. So you just take this kind of like pin off, and then you can slide the slide pins right out. I don't have any pads in here, so if you had any pads, you can take them out now, but I don't have any. So we'll set that to the side. So next is the cylinders. So how we're gonna do this, I can't really get the light to show it, but that's much better. So we're gonna go ahead and put the flathead right behind here, in this little crevice in the back here. And we're just gonna go ahead and peel out. You might have to just grab it with your finger as well. It's a little tough to get the first one out. So there, you can see it's starting to lift. You can help it with your finger, and then you kind of just pull outward. And so you want to keep the flathead here, there so that the seal doesn't go back, and then you can kind of just take your finger here and then just kind of peel the rest of the seal off, just like that. Very careful. I don't have a rebuild kit, so I'm not trying to damage these, but there's the first seal. So we'll set this over to the side, and then we'll go for the second seal. So once again, you're gonna get behind it with a very tiny flathead. You're gonna lift up a little bit until it starts to see it's peeling. And then, oh, I lost it, see? I lost it. All right, hold on. Yep, or you can just put the flathead through it, but I recommend being careful because that could be the end of the flathead poking through the seal. So I'm just gonna grab it with my finger, pull down, and there we go. So now we'll flip it, and we'll do the same for these two. I will be right back when these are done. Okay, so now that I have all four of my seals off, the next step is you're gonna grab a medium flathead, and these are the small little secondary kind of like metal guides, I guess you can say they are, for the rubber seals. So I'll show it from this angle. You're pretty much gonna grab that flathead, and you're just gonna lift up in one area here, and then you can lift up in another area, and they should just pop off just like that. So there it goes. And you can see if I straighten it out here, it'll bend a tiny bit, but that's okay, because when we put it back on, it will flatten itself out. So you don't want to bend it too much. You just want to give it a little bit of pressure to get it going, and then it will just kind of fall off. So once again, I'll give it a little bit of pressure in this area over here. And then to not bend it, I'll give it more pressure in another area, and then it'll just pop off like that. So there we go. Let me go get it. And then I will see you when the other two are off. Okay, so now that I have all four of those kind of metal like guide rings for the seals, you're gonna go ahead and grab a tiny pry bar like this. This is from Harbor Freight. It's literally just some cheap tiny pry bar. And what you're gonna do is you're just gonna kind of slowly bring them up So I think in the beginning here, you might be able to use the flathead because it's kind of a tiny ridge in here. So you'll just kind of lift up with the flathead, get in this groove here, and then we'll just pop them up. Now they're gonna feel easy first and then they're gonna stop. So right there is when they want to stop, or at least this one wants to stop. I'm gonna come in here and bring this one out as well. So I'll kind of get into this ridge here and I'll just move up. You'll see it move up and then it'll stop. So right there is where it wants to stop. That's fine. We'll go on this side. We'll go on this side and I'll pop these up real quick. So that's where that one wants to stop. And then we'll move this one up. And that's where that one wants to stop. So now that we have a little bit of a ridge, we can grab the baby pry tool or baby pry bar. And we can start moving these guys up. So you can see they're just coming out. Now I'm using some force. I don't sound like I am, I don't feel like I am, but I'm using some pretty good hand strength to get these to move up. So we'll kind of do them one at a time. So we'll go ahead and find that ridge and then we'll just move up. This one's just about to come out, so when they're about to come out, we'll grab them. Okay. Oh, no, still needs a little bit more. Okay. Oh, still needs a little bit more. Okay. We're gonna try and go for this guy first. Oh, there we go. So when it's at its end point, it'll kind of just wiggle out just like that. And there is our first cylinder. So I will see you when the rest of these are out. Okay, so you can see all of my cylinders have been pulled out now. It's hard, don't get me wrong. You're gonna need a lot of hand strength and you're gonna need to just keep prying at it. It's hard, but it's doable. So you can see I got all my cylinders here, so that's good. And now that we have all the cylinders out, we can get into the last little seal that's behind it. So if I bring it up close here, you will see this guy right in here. So this is gonna be a weird angle, but you basically have to get in and under like this. We have to pull up. It's going to be hard to film and do it at the same time, but pretty much this seal right here. So you can see I'm lifted up on it. There we go. Yep, there we go, just like that. So that little seal that's inside the actual honing of the cylinders, or the actual like home for the cylinders, if you will. We can take a look at this one again. So you can see this one's out. You can see it's just a hole. And this one has the seal. I'll try and get this one too. This is probably a better angle. So you get up in here. You lift up. Oh. There we go. You can just there we go. Yep, got it. So now I'll see you when the other two are out. Okay, so now before we get into these little clips here, we're gonna get into the bleeder screw. So you're gonna go ahead and pull this little rubber sock off. You just there we go. You just pull it off like that, put it in the collection bag, and then to get this guy off is a 10 millimeter. I recommend doing it on a 1/4 inch. Do not strip this thread. Don't strip the thread. If you strip the thread, you kiss this caliper goodbye. Oh, you can tap and die. No, you don't tap and die calipers. Come on now. So you're just gonna very carefully break it. There we go. And then this guy just threads, unthreads like that. So there we go. And here is your bleeder screw. Very fat one, bro. Like usually they're 8 mils, but this one's a 10 mil. So very fat bleeder screw. But okay, we're gonna leave these guys on because this is a 2-piece caliper. There's no reason to take the mounting bolts off. But now what we're gonna do is we're going to get these guys off. So to do that, you're gonna need a 1/4-inch ratchet. So this guy right here. And you're gonna need a 1/4 socket. So 1/4 if you don't know 1/4. A Allen wrench bit that fits the actual thing. I don't know if this says a size on it. Okay, so this is Allen wrench 3. I don't know how helpful that's gonna be, but you pretty much want to get a bit so that you can get in here with a wrench. So or a ratcheting wrench. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna go in for this guy right here. So let me see if I can zoom in on it. You know what, I'll go for this guy right up here. So what we'll do is we'll put our Allen wrench 3 in there. Now you want to make sure that it's in there full. You want to make sure that it's in there good. Do not strip this. Don't strip it. Use the right Allen key. I almost stripped my other pair, and if you strip that, you can't get it out, and neither can the shop. So what you're going to do is you're going to apply pressure in the middle just like that, and then you're going to pull down. I know you're not going to be able to see, but just make sure that's seated in there. That's why I'm saying hold in the middle so that you don't strip it, and then you're just gonna go ahead and pull down. So we'll see if we can crack this. Yep, just like that. And now we can loosen this guy up. So I'll see you when that's done. All right, so once you have all those clips off, you're pretty much finished. Once again, like I said, I'm not gonna be taking off these threads here. I already tried, they are on there really good. Yeah, no, that's it. That's how to fully disassemble a LS400 caliper. The only thing that I'm missing is the threads and I guess these bolts here. But all you have to do is just get the correct size torque, and I recommend putting this either in a vice grip or someone holding it really tight while you crack down, because you definitely don't want to strip these. So other than that, that's it. That's really all there is to it. So if you enjoyed this video, or if it helps you out in any way, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you later.